So, welcome to another day in my life. For the past 2 years or so, a lot of artists have been really worried about AI, and I totally understand the concerns, but at the same time, I don't think that everything is totally out of our control. There are still some things within our controls. One of the first things I realized as I reflected upon my year as an artist is that so much of my workflow has become inefficient and unproductive because of how foundationally unorganized I've become. Things as simple as organizing my desk and workspace again really helped to put me in that mindset of being productive again. So my iMac used to be so slow and filled with junk files. I have not used my main desktop in like the past year, and I just had to accept like, hey, if I just wiped everything out right now, I probably won't miss anything considering I just went on this whole year without it. I feel like ever since I did that, I started working a lot faster again, instead of just spending time going through every single file and deciding what is worth keeping, what is not. For me, I guess I am just the type of person who just needs to do something really dramatic and never look back. But on top of that, when it comes down to my laptop, iPad, and digital devices, I've just gotten to a habit of just organizing things the moment the file exists, just so that I can set myself up for success. Sometimes things as simple as just not having your stuff organized and needing to spend the time looking for every file whenever you're creating a new art piece, video, just is a time waste. So organizing my desk, organizing my digital spaces has been a game changer for me, despite how simple it sounds. And obviously, as an independent artist, you have to do your taxes at least 4 times a year. Right now, I have a terrible method of doing it where I have to go back and look at all of my expenses throughout the year and organize it that way. Whereas, if I just tracked it as I made those purchases, I wouldn't have to spend all this time searching, sifting, and doing this now. So yeah, finances in general as an artist is really hard, but with the resources out there on the internet these days, it's not impossible to do them. On top of that, I would also like to thank the sponsor of today's video, First Entertainment, for providing more financial options for artists out there. As an artist, nobody ever really tells you how to manage your finances. While I'm not a financial advisor in any way, I have found from my own personal experience that there are some financial institutions out there that might better fit artists, such as First Entertainment Credit Union, with a lot of people in the animation union industry who use it. What makes First Entertainment unique is that they understand project-based work for loans and other financial needs. Opening an account with them was really quick, and with their value checking account, there's no minimum balance required, no foreign transaction fees, and you can also get payroll deposits up to 3 days early with advanced pay. Plus, you also get a $15 ATM surcharge fee rebate per month and a 0.25% discount on adjustable rate mortgage loans. For digital banking, you can deposit checks through their mobile app, manage your cards with their card manager, and transfer money seamlessly between internal and external accounts. Visit firstent.org down in the links below, tag a friend, and maybe share your experience if you've had any experience with First Entertainment. But otherwise, thank you to First Entertainment for sponsoring today's video. So then next, I still spend my day-to-days working a little bit on my graphic novel, although right now I've kind of hit a lull with it. So I've been sending my pitch out with my agent to different publishers, and while I've been doing this, I noticed that there are new challenges to publishing a graphic novel, which maybe weren't there before when I first initially published MEESH, which was back in 2019 to 2020. So the publishing landscape has also definitely changed due to just trends, AI, and just the economy now limiting pages that authors and artists can use because printing has become more expensive. We've pitched my book to a few places by now, and so far there have been a lot of rejections. So just know if you're an artist trying to get your work out there, you're not alone. A lot of publishers these days are looking for very specific things in the young adult graphic novel space. A lot of them are looking for very grounded memoirs. I do think that there is a benefit to that approach because the only thing that really sets us apart from computers computers and artificial intelligence these days are our human experiences, and obviously the hardships and struggles that we face as people of different backgrounds always plays a role in who we are. And while I don't really feel like publishing a memoir about my life right now, the benefit to that is that writing a memoir or a story based off of your life and experiences is going to set you apart from AI, which obviously does not have any of that. So you might be wondering, how am I juggling or managing all of these things? One thing I got on my recent trip to Japan was just a journal, a blank journal. But in this journal, all I will write are my business reflections and endeavors. I don't put anything personal about my personal life in here. The only things I put in this journal are strategies regarding my business and how I'm going to be changing things up and reflecting on what's working and what's not working. My issue before with planners and journals was that I always put everything in one place, and that's like great for an overall big picture view of things. But I feel like recently I've been struggling a lot with my platforms with plateauing, but a lot of those issues are really due to the fact that I've been operating everything on a side hustle basis, as if I still had a full-time job, when really everything now is my full-time job. So another thing that I recently started that is in tangent with my whole new business plan for 2025 is I have a new shit book now. So this new shit book is not anything special from any of my other shit books, but I will say that this shit book is going to be solely for the idea incubation of this new idea I have that I won't be sharing right now, but probably will in the future. So what I did is I got this really old cringe journal that honestly I didn't even take a picture or remember what the cover of it previously was, because it was a drawing I did in middle school. So we know what types of drawing those are. So I took out all of these stickers from this collection of stickers I have in a book, and I just slapped it all over the cover of this journal to cover my super cringy drawing. And I think the act of just ruining this book with my original cringe art, there's already some pages ripped out from the beginning from when I previously used it. I had to do this for this incubation of a new idea I have. Next, I also got a new planner. I always used these planners either from Mozari or Hobonichi. I realized for my workflow, when I plan things on a weekly basis, I need it to be adjustable, which is why now whenever I plan things weekly, I use this app called AkiFlow, where I can just brain dump all of my tasks, assign it to each day of the week. With weekly planning, doing it this way has been a lot easier, but with daily planning, I noticed that I need a place to workshop my day-to-day to-do list. So I got the daily Hobonichi planner for 2025 so that I can have that space to literally take each day at a time. The present is really all we can control. This moment is all we really have control of in this time being. And I really think for me, getting a planner that honors that and encourages to take each day just by the day and giving you that space for the day to work out is really helpful. All right, so then next, you might have seen that I've been doing all of these art career journeys. So far, we had 2 trips in Japan. They've been a huge success. We have a South Korea one coming up in early November. So I got these stickers for them recently, and they are really cute, really exciting. I pretty much use these for both the sketchbooks that I will be handing out to everyone, but also just as, you know, a little merch for everyone on the trip. So basically for every art career journey that I do moving forward, I will be incorporating these little goodies. So if you would like to be a part of a future art career journey, you can definitely join our 2025 spring Japan trip or our 2025 May Greece trip. So what I do throughout the year though, leading up to these trips, is I have group calls with everyone, and I had a group call with the South Korea group trip to just give them the final rundown of the itinerary. You know, I'll give a general itinerary rundown, but now as time approaches, we get more down to the specifics of like when things are happening, when the time is for these events, if anything changed last minute, here are the updates. So keeping people updated, and I have a Discord with everyone from these art career journeys, is just our way of staying connected and updated and feeling reassured about what's to come regarding the trips. I also think what's really nice about these group trip experiences now is the human experience is just going to have more value in the future. And I really think if there are artists out there who, you know, are professionals and they have skills to offer, I really think that you should take advantage of these human in-person experiences some way, somehow. I would just like to think of it as a supportive community instead of just a fully business operated type of service. I already announced this to my Patreon, but I am pausing my Patreon memberships just because I feel like I need to just start minimizing what I am doing to spend that time formulating my new plan for the future. I also did pause my Etsy shop. I don't really have plans to really reopen it for the time being. I just think I've started really coming to terms with how physical products that I have to pack and ship myself are kind of, for me, a waste of my time. So even though I would really love to romanticize that small business artist life for myself, I just sometimes have to accept that maybe for now in this time period in my life, it is not the time and place for that. My issue is spreading myself too thin, treating everything I've been doing like a side hustle, and not taking my own business legitimately. That is what ultimately led to all of this restructuring and planning for my future. And I hope that some of you artists also take inspiration from that, or maybe from other artists out there, and do the same. I think there's no better time to invest in yourself other than now. So maybe if you've been contemplating doing your own thing, maybe just go out there now and get a new journal, reuse an old journal to start writing down your business ideas as an artist. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one.